Hi everyone, I'm MightyTeapot. Welcome to my stream today. Today I'll be talking about biscuits and scones and other thing that can be found in England, the country that I live. Also, fuck Scotland and Ireland and everyone who lives there.
The views and opinions on this show are entirely satirical
Yeah,
and not representative.
definitely.
Do not take the joke seriously. I don't want to get hate mail.
Yes,
What?
if you have any
I thought
hate
you
mail,
enjoyed
please
it.
send it to our hate mail specialist, MMO.
It's been a while, actually. I've been pretty surprised.
I've been getting a lot. Like I don't
Wow.
know that it's necessarily
It's been
related
shifted.
to anything, but I've had people like telling me to kill myself and like overdose on food and stuff.
Wow.
It's pretty great.
Every night at dinner, I overdose on food.
Yeah, I think it's lovely. Like hate mail is the most hilarious thing that I receive on YouTube. So I don't get enough of it. Please send me more. I enjoy reading it and laughing at it. So
There you go.
yeah.
Do that.
Whoops, I hit my mic.
Whoops.
Oh, we'll quit it.
Yeah. Sorry.
This-
It tries to send. He's going to send all his hate mail to BInks. Both of us. Let's split it.
You're going to get half the message. He's going to send the first half of the message to Brazil and the second half to Inks.
We'll
I
have to
think
have
you're
a
a no
Cracker
good,
Jack
lazy, fat,
decoder.
and then the message
Yeah.
is there.
All right, then. We've got
Yes.
a few things have been announced that will be changing, and Fractals is one of them. People have been displeased with how Fractals operates and rewards you for a long time now, and it seems that they want to fix that, and in my opinion they have with a lot of these changes that it seems like a lot of the major complaints towards Fractals are going to be tackled here. Brazil, as our resident elitist, would you kind of agree with that roughly?
Resident ex-elitist. We'll get to that later, maybe. But so I think this is interesting that they're changing it to, instead of you do like 3 fractals and a boss, you just do 1. But from what I understand, like each level is going to be defined as a particular fractal now. So for example, like level 70 will always be Jade Maw or something, which is cool. I think that's an interesting approach. They're also increasing the level cap to 100, which seems like it's going to be cool as well. That will be something fun to do for people that aren't able to maybe do challenging group content, whatever that's going to be. Fractals, they seem like they're trying to make the approach and entry into Fractals a lot easier for people and also increase the challenge. So, if you don't have like 2 hours for a raid or whatever is going to be required for that, you do 1 Fractal, you progress for the day, and then you can just do 1 for the next 99 days until you're at Fractal 100, and then you can grind Fractal 100 for the golden greatsword skin that looks like something from like a rap music video that would be on a necklace. But I don't know. I guess that's kind of cool. If anything, I think someone mentioned, maybe I saw Inks tweet about this or somewhere, that you can change skins, like you can put them into the Mystic Forge or something, and say you have like I have like 5 fractal maces, for example, but I want a sword and a focus, so I can convert those to maybe a sword and a focus. Maybe my understanding's wrong.
So that's how it works with the gold skin. So if you if a gold spear drops and you're like, fuck, I don't want this weapon. Oh, excuse my language. If you don't, if you're like, man, I don't want this weapon, I'd rather have a sword, you can change spear into sword and get the weapon you actually want.
Mm-hmm.
The fractal weapons themselves, I don't know that those can be changed, but you can now buy a fractal weapon box for 20 pristine fractals apparently, and just pick whatever weapon you want. So, and 20 pristine fractals seems fine for a fractal weapon skin. The gold ones will also only drop from 50 for like 51 plus. So there's that as well. That means that it keeps the gold skins rare, but it also lets you have the gold skin that you actually want rather than, oh, I got staff 3 times in a row. Thanks, ArenaNet. I really needed 3 staff skins, you know. So yeah, I think it solves that problem pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And then there's the salvaging of the rings.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
We're actually, well, ascended material, or ascended equipment in general, you're going to be able to salvage all of that stuff for dark matter balls or dark energy balls or whatever the heck it's called.
It's a new material thingy. They just like having globs of things, don't they? It'll be, oh yeah.
Yeah, well, except rings. Rings will give you matrices, which is all used for legendary crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I deleted or sold all of my non-berserker rings or non-magic fine rings that you could change to berserkers. But I have like a bank tab full of just berserkers rings. So I guess it doesn't matter. Like I had tons of rings. Like they needed to go. I don't feel sorry for deleting them, but there were too many.
Maybe you should have bought more bank tabs, Brazil, with gems.
I don't even have the max amount unlocked, but I don't care to buy that.
Exactly. You should have bought all of them with gems. You should have spent all that money you earn. From all that YouTube money. Bought all the bank slots and kept those ascended rings.
I had to convert gold to buy Tempest Warhorns. So
Do you still have those?
I have some.
An undisclosed amount.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. I think, the salvaging is one of the most requested things I've seen, I would say. I think everyone's going, yes! Apart from challenging group content, obviously. Everyone's very excited.
Yeah, the little, the note at the end that this is not the challenging group content. Everyone went...
I mean, they have to keep saying that, right? Because every time they introduce something, it's like, oh, this is challenging group content. And they need to let players know this is not.
Is it?
Well, it was. Now it's back with a source button.
Oh, there we go.
And it just did my face.
Perfect.
So.
Okay.
And I am blurry for some reason.
Uh-oh.
It's this damn light behind me.
You look fine in Skype.
Do I?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's when it goes over to Twitch, it gets all distorted for some reason. I don't know. It's the light coming through. I think.
The light shining in the darkness, MMO inks.
I'm trying to like...
The night is dark and full of inks.
You guys are terrible.
No, we're not terrible enough, I think is the real problem here. Oh, let's see, what else we got here?
I don't know, I just thought that was funny.
I mean, I'm extremely happy that you only have to do one fractal. You can be in and out. You can do it over a lunch break or, you know, it depends how much time you have at night. And my problem with fractals has always been, not that I think they're too difficult or that I don't want to try that content. It's just I don't have time to sit around and do 3 paths plus a boss most nights. You know, on the weekend it's a bit different, but generally speaking, on a daily basis, I don't have time to do a fractal. I really haven't had time to even do a dungeon lately, which is even faster. But, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. At least I'll have time to be able to do, like, 1 or 2 of these and then just be done for the night and not have to worry about, oh, I didn't get to the boss or whatever.
The best of both worlds, because it doesn't really affect the people who want to play more, and it helps out people who don't have the time, so it's a win-win situation for this one. And then you've got more fractals on top of that, so people are going to be happy because there's more things. I mean, when was the last time anything happened with Fractals of the Mist? A very long time
Fractured
ago.
update?
Yeah.
The leaderboards were the last thing that didn't happen, which are supposedly going to happen now. We'll see if that turns out. But
Right. What do you think about them increasing the toughness and precision and possibly other stats on 50 plus fractals?
that makes weakness and condition damage builds better. I think
So
it makes them more in line with berserkers. So I think it's a good change.
Hmm.
Fumbling and glancing blows and just higher toughness makes power less effective. So it instead of saying like mobs now have higher toughness than they do vitality, that could potentially sway condition damage over power. The way they are, I guess, when we went to Fractal 80, for example, mobs had like shitloads of health and they didn't have much in the way of toughness. You could still do basically the same damage. They just had more health. Um, Aside from like the only thing you would really want to use condition damage for would be like a necromancer, an engineer, and the dredge fractal, since they just infinitely spawned and they had protection and stuff, so you could just condition damage through them. But it'll be cool seeing being able to like do fractal 100 and have like a full condition damage party and have it be as effective potentially as power.
so
That'll be neat.
do we want to talk a little bit about then some of the build videos we've seen come out from content creators recently? Brazil had one on Necros. I've seen a Ranger Condi out there now. Guardian Condi has definitely been out for a little while. Warrior, I think, is one. NG perhaps is another. I'm starting to see a lot of higher end players switch to this Condi perspective. So as someone who's been in that world a lot more than myself, what's the reasoning behind this?
The main thing, I think, is the change to burning and vulnerability. Vulnerability making conditions also do more. That's huge because on my Necromancer, for example, I can stack up bleeds and do solo like 2 to 3k damage on bleed stacks, but in a group with vulnerability, that gets to like 5k plus potentially with all the vulnerability stacks. And burning is incredibly powerful now. It's very strong, strong to the point so much that Necromancer is kind of laughable in that department unless you can epidemic on trash mobs and distribute like 50 stacks of burning from the Guardian or something. Which in that case, if you can send that out, like stuff just dies, like it explodes, like it's just dead. Um, if you can spread burning around, it's it's really good, but the lack of burning on classes hurts them, which I think maybe burning might be a little bit too strong. Maybe bleeding may need a little bit of an increase. Maybe I don't know. I don't really
Wait,
know what that would do to balance, but
so what does this do for necromancers who are in a full condition party? Does this make them a more viable class then?
if you can manipulate the conditions well. For trash mobs, they are amazing. For single target damage, for like boss fights and stuff, they're not the greatest thing. I'm getting a warning message from my CPU temperature, but anyway, sorry. Um, they're kind of weird. It's just an odd scenario because you can do stuff like the Priestess of Lissa in a Raw Path 4 puts on confusion to everybody, and it's a lot. Everybody gets like 25 stacks, but you can suck all of that up with Necromancer and then stick it on the boss. Uh, so you can do cool things like that. And if you're fighting enemies, like if you're in, I don't know, CM or something, and you're clearing mobs, and you're getting loaded up with conditions, you can send them away to the enemies. And you can do a lot of cool stuff, but the direct application of conditions on Necromancer is not particularly strong, which is, I think Necromancer's always been like that. It's just in a weird spot as far as condition damage is. It's really, really good at a lot of stuff, and it's really, really bad at a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's weird, but burning is really strong.
Really, really strong.
It's like mixtape quality.
Yeah.
Uh, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff with engineers getting kind of 12, 13k burning ticks,
Mm-hmm.
and But if the thing is, though, if they make bleeding stronger, that's gonna, if you combine that with burning, then condition damage
Yeah.
is pretty terrifying.
It is.
Well, I think that if bleeding gets stronger, burning takes a hit.
Yeah.
They
That's-
can't, like, the... I mean, I think burning's probably going to take a slight nerf anyway,
Mm-hmm.
just because of how strong it is. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And someone mentioned in chat Doomfire with Reaper Shroud. That's something that I've been thinking about too. I'm probably going to release a Condi Reaper and Power Reaper build at the same time. Whenever I get to it, I actually pre-ordered Heart of Thorns. So because I want to play Reaper in the beta weekend. That's the only reason I did it. I'm still mad that I don't know what challenging group content is, but I want to play Reaper. So I'm going to play around with that. I'll probably put my thoughts into a video. But if Reaper, like you take the attack speed increase trait with the Reaper Shroud and like you cleave and just attack really fast, and if Doomfire procs on every single one of those hits from the Scythe Swing, that could potentially be very strong. Doomfire, as it is right now on Life Blast, is horrible. Life Blast,
Too slow.
it needs to
So
be
slow.
the same speed as Plague Blast underwater, honestly. That's how you fix Life Blast. But
And then tune the damage down a little bit.
I don't even know how much you need to do that because, like, you can only do that if you're in... Like, if anything, I would change Vital Persistence and make the degeneration a little bit stronger so it degenerates faster. So you can build up Life Force really fast with Staff, with Dagger Warhorn, with, honestly, like, a lot of stuff. So having a very strong auto attack that's conditional, that you have to be in Death Shroud for, like if you take a hit in Death Shroud and the bar goes down, whatever.
God.
I think that's fine. What's happening? Oh, I'm being called a total hypocrite.
You
Okay.
paid for beta access.
All right.
Well, I mean, you wanted to play Reaper, it's fair, you know?
I want to play Reaper. That's the only thing I'm like interested in at all so far. So
You know, I think it comes for a lot of... We've talked about this before ad nauseum, I think, but it comes down to hooking people. Eventually, there's going to be a hook for almost everybody. That's either going to be a price decrease. That's going to be knowing what the hell was just that? Did somebody just walk by the screen?
What?
I don't know. There was like a dude in a backpack that walked by the screen. I don't know. It's very weird. I'm like,
on one of our webcams?
yeah, like on Teapot's green screen.
What the hell?
Was there somebody behind you? Maybe it was on... I could be on drugs. I don't know. I don't know
In,
what the
in,
hell's
in
going
it,
on.
no, this is very important. In his house or in the game footage?
I have no idea. It was so
Wait,
fast.
did
that I didn't
anyone
even
see
notice.
this? Did anyone?
I didn't.
I didn't see it.
I didn't.
Somebody was behind your head. Maybe it was a Norn NPC.
Okay,
But
okay.
it looked like a regular person. I don't know. Freaked me out for a second when I was talking. Anyway, it was so random. I'll have to go back and watch it later because it freaked me out. Anyway, eventually there's going to be a hook that gets people to pre-purchase. I mean, there will be plenty of people who still buy it when the game gets released or whatever, but finding out, what Challenger Group content is, or, if you're a warrior, if you play Warrior Hardcore and you find out what that is and there's a beta for that, I mean, eventually I think there's going to be something that hooks you into pre-purchasing. For some people that was easier to hook than others, obviously, so... I don't know. I'm seriously... Everybody's spooked now. I think it was an NPC, but it looked like some heavyset dude with a backpack. I don't know. It was kind of creepy.
That's very it could be a ghost though. Why haven't you considered the fact that it could be a ghost?
I guess it could.
Am I going to die live on stream? Keep watching to find out. My mods are doing a good job here. I like this. They're really building up the hype. Sorry, Yanks.
I totally forget what I was talking about now because, or what led into all that. But, I'm excited for the beta weekend. There's going to be a lot of specializations, and I think it was an NPC because another one just walked by and it was like super close to your face. Anyway.
I'll move a little bit. Go have this nice view of this char. Here we go. Just going crazy.
It was just really weird. But yeah, I'm excited to get in and play the different specializations. So, I mean, that's a big draw for me, obviously. As a content creator, there's going to be a lot of content for me to... yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. I'm very hyped to try out the specializations, see how ridiculous or terrible some of them are.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So you're getting ready for Gamescom, right?
Yeah.
Teapot.
It's gonna be
How
good.
many days until you leave for that?
Hang on.
He's there right now.
Yeah.
That's why
I
that
lived there the
explains the
entire time.
backpack guy.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm going in 3 days' time. So be there for Thursday. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's definitely correct. I'm not very good with dates. Because of how lazy I am, just time just goes together into one massive glob. I don't know anything.
So Thursday, when is the convention? Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Then Sunday as well, yeah.
Oh, and Sunday as
4
well.
days.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's a
Wow.
thingy...
So you're going to miss the whole beta weekend, basically.
Well, you can play it from there, so no worries there.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what's they're showing off.
Cell
That's-
phone camera footage.
What else do you think? I mean, they talked about
This-
another surprise announcement. What do you think? Any speculation on what that's going to be?
Yeah. Release date.
Yeah, I would say that as well.
It's definitely going to
Really?
be the release date.
Definitely going to be release date?
Yes.
You don't think?
the old
You
challenging...
don't think it's going to be challenging group content?
It may be both, but definitely release date. I don't
Okay.
think they're ready I think they'll talk about challenging group content after the release date,
The day of
honestly.
release.
Like, it's going to be like, so you guys are excited for the new Star Wars movie, right? Well, Heart of Thorns is going to be releasing the same day.
Oh, geez.
And everyone's going to be like... So,
All of Guild Wars 2 will be empty.
yeah. That's going to be how they do it, I think. Colin Johansson will come out in full Darth Vader cosplay.
That would be too awesome.
That would be amazing. And then they actually set it up so it looks like he has force powers
Yeah.
in real life. So everything's wow.
He sticks his hand out and everyone's wallets come up out of their pants.
Yeah. But they've
All
got
the
no
money
money.
just starts floating in the air.
They spent it all on gems though. They've got none.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh my
I know.
gosh. I don't know why my camera is such shit today.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not a
In
problem.
We don't
Skype,
want to
it's
see
fine.
you anyways.
In Skype, it's fine, but when it translates over to Twitch, it's all grainy and terrible. I don't know. Anybody
Mine's the
who's
same
watching
way.
this after, apologies for my terrible camera today.
Well,
It's completely his fault.
yeah, it's all links. Just send
Please
all...
get your pitchforks.
He is, he's our head of complaints as well, so...
Take your
Just send
warrior
it everything.
specialization and pull out your torches.
Eee. Well, at
Hey,
least I'll get burning.
I've been saying that warriors are going to get torched for forever. Of course, I also thought they were going to get traps, but anyway,
Real trap shit.
that's probably not going to happen since they're
Well,
berserkers
Yeah.
in berserker gear with scholar runes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very berserkerish to be carefully setting a trap.
No,
But it's not impossible.
What if you guys played Fallout New Vegas with the Dead Money DLC? Inks may have.
I have not. I'm saving it. I know. That face. I have it. I've been saving it to stream.
So there's a weapon in the
Disappointment.
in Dead Money called the Bear Trap Fist. And it's literally a fucking bear trap that's cocked backwards on your hand, and you punch people and hit the pressure plate on it, and it snaps. So, like, imagine warrior traps being like that. Like, they're, like, on their bodies or something. That would be fucking awesome. Like, you have a spike trap fist, and it, like, comes out. Oh, my God. What is that?
Modramoth says, he's data mining focus. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus.
Is someone mowing the yard?
They're trimming their hedge.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's like 7:30 at night there.
I know. What is wrong with these people? Is that... Oh, there
Gotta
we
get
go.
that grass cutting in
Exactly,
late
yeah.
at night.
Focus skills for warrior. It's confirmed by Modramoth in chat.
Yeah, so warriors can just beat you in the face with it. Doesn't actually do anything magical. They just smack you with it.
Exactly. Then you've got the beer mug, you've got the the goblet thing, and you dual wield foci and just bash people in the head. That's going to be a really, really funny burst skill, isn't it? You just take a swig and then smash someone around the head with it. You have to have the mug. You can't have anything else.
That's right.
Oh my god.
They're doing it again.
I know, they're doing it again. Oh, these people.
Jeez, it's like a Led Zeppelin song or something.
Fortunately, it won't actually... I don't think it will come up that much on the stream because I have the noise gate set up.
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
It's a good song, right?
Okay. It is.
It's a fantastic song. I guess I should know the lyrics.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, yes, of course. You feel free to raise your kappas here. We got a very good quality KPM last stream, and I don't know, we may do something about the kind of all the gripes that necromancers have with their current situation, their weird predicament, quote Brazil. That may happen because we got over 1,000 KPM. So yes.
Yes, that may happen.
I think we need to get back on topic here. What were we actually talking about? What was going on?
Condition damage and fractals.
Ah yes, condition damage and fractals.
Well, we've already exhausted that. Let's move on to the legendary back piece.
Oh, let's do it.
Yes. Are you motivated by... any of you guys really motivated by this, the legendary back piece?
Dumb.
I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I really
like
don't
it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I kind of have a hatred for all the wings and stuff in the game. I really don't like the wings. Just, I mean... I guess I
need to see what it looks like on my character, but like it might look really stupid on Asura. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll put it to you this way. It will look good if there's fractal armor.
Ooh. That's not... yeah, that doesn't seem out of the question. But I'd prefer if it didn't look like that. It should just be a cape. They finally add capes into the game.
I mean, it looks like it's an evolved form of the fractal back piece.
Yeah.
Sort of, which...
it has little cubes.
Yeah, which I always kind of liked. It's got like the floaty shards or whatever coming out of the sides, which they do kind of look like wings. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for legendary fractal back piece. Although I guess I gotta say I don't really change my back piece stats that often. So
but now you
it's
can.
less useful in that way. But yeah, I guess so.
Sinister. If you can do that, that'll be nice.
Well,
Maybe that'll be the only way to get sinister.
Yeah.
At least for now. I mean, who knows?
Imagine if Sinister becomes the meta and everyone, you have to grind for this legendary back piece, otherwise you're no longer considered meta and you're just banned. There'll be loads of groups with legendary back piece only, and then they force you to reveal your back piece, otherwise they just throw you out.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna happen. Oh, got more Brazil
I mean, I think
heads.
what I really like is that it's going to get a full treatment just like all the others. So, except that it doesn't sound like you need a mastery track for this one. So for the other precursors, you need a mastery track. This one sounds like you go to the observatory to start this quest that has a whole bunch of steps. So you might be able to work on this one at the same time you work on a mastery track for one of the other precursors. So that might be a big bonus as well.
Potentially, yeah. I don't even know if I have my original fractal back piece anymore. So, was that supposed to be the precursor to this? Was that how it was gonna
No,
work?
well, they don't say. They just said that there would be a precursor scavenger hunt, and it's going to have you do... It's not just about collecting things inside and outside of fractals, because that's part of it, but there's also going to be like timed boss events where you have to kill particular bosses within a certain amount of time, and a variety of other special events you're going to have to do for this precursor back piece. And then there's a whole other step about making the precursor into legendary, which they called ad infinitum or something like that.
Infinitum.
Infinitum, right?
Yeah.
So all of this stuff is really for the precursor, and then there's a whole other step to make it into the legendary, which we don't really know anything about.
What are you doing up there? Did you find the guy with the backpack?
No. Okay. Let's close the windows.
Oh,
I
okay.
can alleviate the issue somewhat. Yes. What I like about this though is it shows that they are actually going to add more legendary weapons. I think it's been
I think it just thundered. Maybe that was me.
it was nearly 2 years since they were going to add more legendaries.
Yeah.
That's quite funny. That's
I
quite,
want a green greatsword, you motherfuckers. Give me one.
okay. But yeah, it looks like they will finally do it.
I want a greatsword legendary that has like matrix code that is going down the blade. Holy shit. I'd use that on everything.
You could probably use,
Text mod.
yeah, to achieve that with Twilight or,
Yeah.
one of those, or Sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Get that done, but just too lazy. You want the real deal.
I
You want
want the
everyone
real
to
deal.
see it.
Yeah, I want everyone to see it in game. To see my matrix code Twilight greatsword.
Look, there are some other rewards I think as well, aren't there? I guess achievements. I don't care about achievements. Do any of you guys care about achievements?
Yeah, that's all I
course.
do. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Jeez, what's the matter with you?
I buy alt accounts just so I can do jumping puzzle achievements.
I'm not that crazy. But
I have 100 alt accounts. Wooden Potatoes, let me teach you a thing or two about them. I don't know if you guys saw that comment or not
Wait, what?
on his video.
What did he
No,
say
we
now?
talked about that last week, didn't we? Someone commented on Wooden Potatoes video and they were like, I have over 100 alt accounts and I got banned for it.
We didn't bring that up on we didn't bring that up.
Oh, we brought up that we weren't going to bring it up.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Yeah, right at the start we brought up that we wouldn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you like to give us a too long didn't watch because it never happened?
Yeah, there was a guy who apparently had 100 accounts for Guild Wars 2, and he would log into every single one each day for the daily reward to get like T6 mats and stuff, which I think 10 alt accounts, 10 Guild Wars 2 accounts, you get enough T6 mats per month to make the legendary gifts, the gift of might and magic or whatever. So you get like it's something
I
like
think
that.
I think it's more than 10.
It may be 15,
Something.
maybe
yeah.
20. It's
Somebody was telling me, I think it might have been that shaman was saying something like 10 accounts equals like 400 gold or something like that,
Mhm.
almost.
Because the tier 6 is just over a gold on average, isn't it? Is it something like 115? I'm not sure. I haven't
It
checked in a
Depends
while.
For
what the
lore?
material is.
Yeah,
It's
but
lower
on
than that.
average, I mean,
I think so.
it's something like that.
So that's what he was doing, but what happened is that after like 45 accounts or something, it would take longer to log into each one. So he would like have to take a break and do it. Like he'd have to like split it into 3 chunks of time. And eventually he got banned for like multi-boxing or something. Or like third-party programs, but he claimed he didn't have any, so...
Which seems impossible if you actually have 100 alt accounts, which also seems ridiculous.
Yeah, there are a lot of things about that are kind of odd, but...
It
Oh well.
doesn't seem like a likely... I mean, even if he was only doing a little bit, there's probably he was doing something a little bit cheeky. I doubt they'd ban you for buying more copies of the game.
Right.
Yeah, I know someone that has 10 accounts. That's on the threshold of reality, I think. But
10 accounts is a lot.
that's a lot of accounts. I can't even fathom 100. That's like, holy
It's
shit.
insane.
Just quit the game and play Five Nights at Freddy's. Seriously.
That's a scary
That's what
game.
you should be doing. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Terrifying.
It's jump scares.
Those... Anyways,
Okay, it's a shocking game. Fine.
For people that are weak-minded, yes.
Where it just leaps out at you, and it's kind of.
I would probably
"Ah."
scream.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Way less half-assed than that, but it is like that.
I don't know. I don't react to stuff like that. Like I played that Amnesia game, so I thought I'll get spooked a little bit, and like I just went through the whole game. And it was boring as shit. But maybe that's just me.
It's because
I should do like a.
you're
It's because I'm a what?
you're immune because you've seen the skull trumpet. Once you've seen that, there's nothing more you can get. You can't get scared by anything after that. I mean, that is fucking horrifying. That video.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's really scary. Like those pixels are just they're frightening.
They just completely terrifying.
There he goes. It is an NPC. Okay, it's a char with this backpack, and he looked like a person when I just glanced at it the first time. But he was super
There
close
he
to your
goes.
face, and it was a bit creepy.
Man, that reminded me of a story, but I'm not even gonna tell it. So let's continue along.
Wow.
That was
Okay.
it's yeah.
Yeah. Let's reel this back into Fractals, seeing as we haven't
Let's do
really
it.
fully exhausted that yet. Because there's
So a few other rewards were there's the mini pet, which then you can forge into the cat mini golems. There's the ascended rebreather,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like there was another
Tradable
item.
stuff.
And then tradable stuff, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, I know you guys probably aren't, but I'm a big mini pet fan, so the mini pet's a draw for me. And of course, the Ascended Rebreather, I feel like best in slot. I need to have it.
Yeah.
So,
long overdue. I mean,
yeah,
They-
yeah.
the whole underwater combat system is a little bit neglected. I mean, it was going, yes, Guild Wars 2. It was one of their selling points, really. Not one of the big selling points, but it was one of the selling points. Yeah, underwater combat's going to be awesome, guys. And it just fell flat on its face. They never really went
Well,
with it. There's a few stuff.
What's sad is I think that the underwater combat is probably better in Guild Wars 2 than most other MMOs.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure, yeah.
And even then, it still has its own host of problems and issues, right? But I still think it's better than most underwater combat in MMOs. Underwater combat in general is just terrible.
The Z-axis makes things a little weird. I
Yeah.
think.
Things are a lot trickier to deal with, but that may change. Do you think they're going to add some more underwater fractals? Maybe the last boss, Fractal 100, will be an underwater fractal.
No. I don't think we're gonna see much of any underwater combat or underwater content for a while. The jungle will have like a little bit here and there. You know, we've seen the World vs. World Borderland map had like a pool of water here and there, but generally, no, you're not gonna see a lot of underwater content.
That's good and bad for me because Necromancer DPS underwater is hilariously good. Like, oh my fucking god, Plague Blast. Plague Blast is so strong. It is so strong. And like Necromancers have a sink, they have like a charge that can like stick shitloads of weakness. They're so strong underwater. But that's just something else that they're really good at that doesn't matter. So
There you go.
Well, way back at Rezzed, I spoke to Izzy and John, and they said that there's basically going to be they said that there's going to be minimal underwater stuff going on in Heart of Thorns, so that kind of confirms that they may have changed by then. This is a long time ago, but it seems like it will not happen. Wait, why are you talking to me on Skype? Seriously, shut up. That sucks. Never mind. Yes, underwater things. Necromancer OP confirmed.
yes.
Only
My
underwater.
sugar glider was just out and I just saw him go back in. Not that that's related to anything.
6 more weeks of winter. Yeah, I mean, underwater combat and all that content and stuff, that it'll get looked at eventually. It's really not high on their priority list, I would imagine. I imagine it's pretty low on the list right now. It's still on the table because that table is freaking huge, but
Oh yeah.
it's just not a high priority right now.
I know when they're gonna look at it.
Do you?
I'm making a conspiracy theory right now. There's gonna be an underwater SAB level. Super adventure box. Underwater.
Sab
That's
is never coming back.
Wow.
I'm just putting that out there. It's not coming back. I actually hated it, and that makes me in the extreme minority. I really despise that that game, what mini game thing. So I say that with glee, but I also don't, I actually don't think it's coming back either. At least not for a long time.
I was gonna say I think a year from now, 6 months to 6 to 8 months from launch of Heart of Thorns, whenever that happens.
Yeah, whenever that. Should we talk about that when Heart of Thorns is going to launch, or should we keep going with Fractals?
Well, we haven't talked about how they're going to make it harder yet.
Oh, the toughness and the vitality.
Well,
we talked about that.
Toughness,
I guess
toughness and precision. We talked about how it's going to change builds and stuff. I mean, they are going to rework Mistlock instabilities. They're going to rework some of the existing ones, and they're going to make up a bunch of new ones, obviously. And then at higher levels, 50 plus, you're going to have, there's the possibility of having two or more, I guess, but at least 2 Mistlock instabilities running against you at the same time.
There you go. Skulls confirmed.
But those are all set. Those are all statically set, I think, on like each fractal that runs. The good news, I guess, is that by doing so, they can make more of these Mistlock instabilities more specific to a fractal. So if you know that 51 is swamp, then you can make 2 Mistlock instabilities that specifically are damaging or, impeding in swamp fractal, and you don't have to worry about maybe not running into those when you do harpies, because then in harpies they might not have any significance, right? So from like a design standpoint, that sounds good, but we have to really wait and see what those Mistlock stabilities end up being.
From the perspective of someone who likes doing challenging things, Brazil, what would your dream Mistlock instability be? Your favorite one ever?
I don't know, because I don't know. The system it exists, and I'm kind of indifferent to it, but I don't know. Maybe like nerf every other damage from everything except Necromancer. If Necromancer damage equals constant, if damage is reduced by 50%.
50%?
I'm trying to remember logical statements from programming from years ago, but I probably got that wrong. Anyways,
just add some brackets in there and you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, do a for loop for Necromancers, or a do while.
Why'd you need
while Necromancer kicked from party. So
while the Necromancer is not present, reduce everyone's damage. It's just they're taking affirmative action to bring Necros back into the meta.
The not reflect thing, that seems interesting. I'm kind of sad that is it a chance? I don't remember if it was a chance to not reflect, or that everything is just unreflected, which that one...
I think it was just everything is unreflected.
Yeah, that was something that was very interesting to me, because going to Fractal 80, the first time that I started exploring that, Guardians, it was really dependent on Guardian Reflects, and then when we started to kind of figure stuff out, we started doing Fractals without Guardians, or just all Warriors or stuff, which was helpful because you start to not depend on reflex and start to watch more closely and pay more attention to the mechanics and stuff. But if you get no reflectable projectiles at Grawl Shaman, that's going to hurt a little bit. So, I don't know. You'll have to play around it. I think that's cool. Maybe not being able to blind would be a fun one, even though that would suck at the same time. As far as a dream... I don't know. I don't know what I would want. I really don't. A dream instability. That's what you asked. The best one for an elitist like me.
Right? I don't know, you just kind of just died there. Just trailed off and died.
I don't really know what I would want for one. An ideal one. Maybe that Quaggan thing from the Queen's Gauntlet. That would be cool.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
Quaggan spook you.
Foo.
I have it. A Five Nights at Freddy's instability. There's just a constant risk of a jump scare. That'd be fun.
That you can't turn off.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
jumps out at you? Is it just a picture of Colin or something?
Yeah, that photoshopped Colin I made.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
that
still
is
have it?
terrifying. I do still have that.
Uh-oh. You should show everyone what we're talking about.
Okay, I'll activate it for the just. Oh, there we go.
It's perfect.
This is what Brazil does when he's not on this show. He just spends all of his time making these
Yeah.
endless versions of this. This is very good quality.
It is.
Just look at it. It's amazing.
That's the liquefy filter for you. And the smudge tool. That's how to be a professional at Photoshop.
Well, what I was trying to get at is what would be a good way to make things more challenging, and we've kind of gone around that a bit. But someone in chat was wondering what our thoughts on having kind of Guild Wars 1 style big elite dungeon style things, and I don't think dungeons will be in Hearthstone.
I don't know.
I doubt it very much, but
I'm tired of dungeons.
I think there could be something to be said for a larger group challenge, because it was kind of very interesting how some of the elite missions worked in Guild Wars 1. You could kind of just start wherever you wanted and work around, and well, I mean, it was actually pretty painful unless you knew how to exploit the game, and then it was incredibly easy. But never mind. If you were just trying to do it for the first time, Domain of Anguish is horrific. It's caused so much misery before I actually know what I was doing. And then you die and you just get kicked out and you get nothing. Wouldn't be a problem in Guild Wars 2. But I think there could be something like that put into the game with larger groups, and maybe you have to beat everything at the same time or something. You've got to be coordinated, challenging, and group content.
Triple Trouble Worm style, but with 3 groups of 5. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think we need to get rid of this Colin head now. It's been there for too long. But yeah. I'm not sure. I think it's difficult to speculate. It's impossible to speculate because ArenaNet deliberately don't want to throw too much bait out there, so people can't call them idiots for not doing exactly what they wanted when they actually say what challenging group content is. What do you think? What do you think about that, Inks? What do you think challenging group content may look like?
It's going to be raids. It's going to be 10 to 15 man raids, instanced content. Whether I don't know whether we're going to see like lots of trash, or there's going to be I don't know how the dungeon's going to specifically act. I would prefer an instance kind of like My Trins, where there's a tiny bit of trash leading up to a boss. I think one of the problems in raids in general, WoW, Rift, SWTOR, although SWTORs were generally easy, although I haven't played the game in a long time. It was always, like an hour worth of trash and then a boss that you just wipe on for 50 billion hours, And the trash was kind of nonsensical. It didn't really do anything. It didn't generally stop you from progressing. It was just a time filler. And so I'm hoping that we have raid encounters with maybe a tiny bit of interesting trash or something, and then a boss. I don't want to see, a whole 30-minute dungeon or an hour's worth of trash just to get to a boss. On the other hand, you can't have boss after boss after boss. There has to be some, winding pathways, or there has to be some dungeon built around it. Someone's telling me that the new raids in WoW have very little trash. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. So it's exactly, I have to admit, I haven't played a raid in WoW since Cataclysm. Mm. But, trash needs to be interesting if you're going to have trash mobs in there, like mini-boss trash mobs or groups of trash mobs to do something with. But, I don't know. I think it's going to be 10 to 15, probably 10-man, to be quite honest. But I think it's going to be 10-man raid content. And if you put any stock at all into the Mysterious E, I think that's his name on Reddit.
Yes.
He was pretty spot on like 3 months ago about Fractals. Not everything he said was spot on, but at least half of what he said was spot on. And now he's saying that Thief is going to get staff, which I think most of us pretty much already speculate and probably agree on anyway. And he's talking about 10 to 15-man raid content, which has been speculation for a long time too. So, I mean, I think it makes sense that that's what challenging group content is going to end up being. Now, of course, it's going to be Guild Wars 2's spin on it, so I wouldn't expect a straight-up conversion of WoW or Rift or SWTOR or WildStar or any other raid content you've ever played. Somehow it will be different and have its own twists on it. But, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to having some sort of 10-man party or 10-man content.
Mm-hmm. With the trash, though, where do you think trash should sit? Should it be... It's a kind of a constant risk of dying throughout the whole thing, or should it be fairly easy? I mean, there are some pretty frustrating trash mobs already in Guild Wars.
I think it should be like crazy, like we haven't seen in Guild Wars 2 yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to use an example of a game I played called Dungeon Defenders, where like as you progressed up through the difficulty tiers, the trash mobs started to do crazy shit. Like there would be spider enemies. Like in Dungeon Defenders, it was more or less a tower defense game. You defended like little crystal things. You would set your shit up. You would set up defenses and enemies would come in, but as you progressed up through higher levels and different types of zones and stuff, like spiders would drop down on top of the crystals and just attack them. So like everything you had set up, it didn't matter. So you could counter that with specific type of stuff, or like you could get as extreme as little goblins flying airplanes dropping ogres on top of you. Like ogres were hard as fuck to deal with, and like suddenly you have an ogre, like an airplane carrying an ogre, and he just drops it in the middle of all your shit and it starts killing things from behind, and you're fucked. Like there are gliders. We have the ability to glide in Heart of Thorns now, so like you're going through like a canyon in the jungle, and then suddenly like there are enemies that come out of the ground and they glide down from the top of the canyon on top of you. Like, oh my god, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So like you set up your reflex in the front of you to deal with stuff, to deal with enemies that are coming, but people glide down behind you or on top of you, and they can like adapt to what you're doing. Something like that would be awesome. That'd be like really cool. Or like enemies that shoot at you from in the trees and you can't really see them. Like there's just like all kinds of shit you could do. And it all sounds really fun. I'm just hoping that they do something like that instead of here's a group of 10 mobs and you go up and blind them and that's it.
I could also see something like, we know in Verdant Brink that there's mobs you can't damage from the front.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to flank them or something. So adding mobs like that you have to separate or deal with or get behind them to do damage, I think is important. I think you could have the mounted mobs where you have to break their bar in order to knock them off the mountain to actually kill them. I think that could be really interesting trash. Or even mobs where you need to use taunt to pull some of them out of the group. Like let's say there is a healer in the group. You need to taunt him out of the group so that your party can kill the group and then kill the healer, or vice versa. Or maybe even a mob that's not necessarily a healer, but maybe he's a shielder. Maybe he pops up a bubble or a shield that reflects or stops, damage from coming in. We know that all of these tools exist with the new AI in Guild Wars 2. This is something that they can pull off. Whether they've done that or not, we'll have to wait and see. But there is ways that they can make trash mobs interesting. So I don't want a ton of trash. I don't want no trash, but I want the trash there to be. I want it to be difficult, and I want it to be interesting. People are talking about WildStar. Yeah, WildStar and their dungeons and stuff. I didn't raid in WildStar, so I can't really speak on that. But in their dungeons in WildStar, they had a lot of, there wasn't a ton of trash, but the trash were kind of like mini bosses, or they all had small little mechanics that you had to deal with while you were leading your way up to the boss itself. So I think there's, like Brazil was saying, I think there's interesting ways they can do it.
Mm-hmm. You could make the trash mobs be as hard as bosses in some aspect, maybe.
Yeah.
I think the real key to all of this is making the AI smarter Because if the AI is stupid and it doesn't know when to do all these things, it's not going to be able to deal with all these reflects and stuff. It needs to be able to know that there is a reflect up, and it either, if it was just basic, it doesn't attack into the reflect and kill itself. What I would hope for, the dream in my opinion, is that it's able to react to that and move around it, or move to the left and then shoot in from the side or something.
Yeah.
As
I
opposed
was doing AC last night, and like the rangers and stuff and AC Path 2 that just shoot at you on the traps, like you just put down a wall of reflect and they just keep shooting you. Like they don't do anything. Like they move if you LOS, but yeah, there's like no reaction there. And I don't know, it'd be really awesome if there was, just like you said. And even like remembering back to the Queen's Gauntlet and like the farm that went on below and the bosses up at the top, there was that like ogre boss who had all of those birds around him and shit.
Mhm.
You could integrate trash mobs into boss fights like that. Like you have like King Ribbit, the frog thing, and like all the little tree dart shooting little frogs around him. I don't know. Whatever. But stuff like that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think if they were able to understand line of sight, that would be incredibly cool as well, because they could be hiding behind
Yes.
something, and then they leap out, and then they shoot you. Then they hide again until their attack has come off cooldown or whatever, and obviously dodging as well. Because that's something you can't really go with the bosses. I mean, you can't have the Lupicus dodge. That would just look ridiculous. The animation would cover the entire screen, and everyone will be blinded. But the little guys, you can have them rolling around and using their dodges. It doesn't have to be in a perfect way. They might just dodge an auto attack or something. But anything like that is just awesome, because that one time when you line up that 100 blades and they just dodge away, you get wrecked, and then you go, "Wow, this is a challenging experience." And you put a post on Reddit about it.
And yeah, I think there's also a right and wrong way to do the dodging specifically, because in the open world, mobs that just evade spam are annoying to a lot of people, because open world stuff, people just kind of want to blow through it and press 1. But you have different classifications of enemies. Like you have the normals, and then you have veterans, and you have elites, and you have champions. And you could add dodge mechanics in, I would imagine, to different tiers. Like say they're like in the open world, I don't know, like there's one of those little frog things, the skinny ones again. Why not? We'll use that as an example. The normal ones, they just kind of like hop around and fuck with you. Like maybe they like strafe and go around. But maybe if there's a veteran, like he'll occasionally dodge. And then if there's an elite, they do it. And if there's like a champion or a legendary, that's like a big part of their thing. Like you have to stun it. You have to immobilize it so it doesn't move around. Stuff like that. And you can kind of, I don't know, role play with that a little bit and think that the enemies, the more experienced they are, the better they get. So that's why you have champions and legendaries and stuff like that. Instead of just a legendary being something that is mysteriously bigger and has more HP for some reason. So
That's what happens when you remove named NPCs.
yes.
You give some immersion, but you also take some immersion away.
Mm-hmm.
You remove that roleplay capacity. Bad times.
Named NPCs are fun. I really like stuff like that.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Oh, it's rose-tinted glasses, but the boss system in Guild Wars 1, I like that a lot. That was awesome. I mean, then they didn't have the technology. They were basically just glowy, but still.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And they had names, and they hit really hard. They did double damage and loads of other crazy stuff. And those things can be implemented. I mean, it kind of already is. Your average champion hits a lot harder than the other guy. The useless little grunt who just runs around and dies instantly.
Well, we know with the AI too that ArenaNet actually assigns these mobs classes, so they'll make them guardians and rangers and stuff. You as the player won't know that because it won't show up with that icon that's to tell you what it is. But by assigning them particular classes, they'll do specific things that that class would do. Have a block like Aegis or a rapid fire mechanic or a pet or whatever, right? So we can look forward to seeing some of those things. The Itzel, for example, that have the short bows, they get that thief evade backwards where they will jump back and evade an attack. So some of that stuff is coming. We'll just have to wait and see how well planned out that sort of thing is. We also know that they do have the technology. If you look at the Wyvern fight, if you group up, he will look, the AI specifically will look for groups of enemies or groups of players. So if you group up to stack might or protection or whatever you're going to do, the AI knows to look for that, and that's where he drops his firebomb. So it kind of, they're trying to stop you from grouping up in specific areas of the boss fight or the game or whatever. We'll see how well that works out.
Yeah.
I think it would be good to see simulated PvP fights. So you come up against, say if you're fighting a bunch of evil humans for whatever reason, or evil Char, evil Sylvari or something, because we're going to be fighting nasty, corrupted Sylvari lots in this one, and it would be cool if you go up against them and they're actually just an elementalist, and they use kind of vaguely the same abilities as you, and you try and make them, the ArenaNet make them clever, and it's like the random guys in the Mists thing, and I don't even know what they're there for. They're kind of like training dummies that die and are a bit like players, but then you have that, but it's enemies, and then your immersion level just skyrockets, and that would be pretty good. I think Nemesis mentioned that a few streams ago. That's what he was looking to happen. So like mini bosses or just fighting multiple bosses at once. I think that would be good. I think multiple bosses is something that hopefully will happen.
It happens now sometimes, but
but to a greater extent.
Yeah. There go the Hell's Angels.
You're not far off on that one. Several of them now live in the building, and yeah, there's a whole other story behind that.
Need your challenger back so you fit in with them.
So I fit in. One of them actually has a challenger, a new one. It's funny you say that. Is a new orange one with a black racing stripe down the center.
I like challengers.
It's a nice looking car, I have to say. He has that in his motorcycle. But anyway.
Do you think there will be cars in Heart of Thorns?
No, that's reserved for Final Fantasy Bro Edition. You get in your car and go to McDonald's, get Big Macs for everybody.
I don't know what that's about.
And then you stop on the way and kill some Moogles or whatever.
There is no way
Chocobos.
that there couldn't be cars in Guild Wars, because golems are way more sophisticated than cars.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just
You do have Char motorbikes.
Yeah, and Char make tanks as well and stuff. Can't drive them. ArenaNet, if you're watching the stream, allow us to drive tanks in Heart of Thorns.
Well,
scrap whatever plans you have. Allow us to drive tanks.
You will. You're going to be able to. You can make them from your guild thing to make the char cycles.
The
char choppers or whatever they're called. Char cars. They were calling them.
Yeah.
You can make the char cars from your guild to drive around in the Borderlands. I think, right?
Yeah, I think they had that in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I think Aurora Peachy cried when she saw it. But
I cried too, because
tears of
char
joy.
cars are amazing.
Ink said, "My neighbors will love these."
Mom, where are the tank keys? I want to complete my Vista. Wait,
My Vista
viewer.
viewer.
What the hell? I don't understand what you're trying to say there. I mean, you're obviously misquoting me. That dank meme has returned. But what? I don't know. That's the worst burn ever. You suck. There we go.
You and Madramoth.
/ unmodded. There we go. Wait, no. Unmod. Yeah.
/r/funny.
Yeah.
Teapot just likes to abuse his moderators.
Yeah, that's good. That's what you should do.
Well, they just spend the whole time going crazy spamming dank memes. So
it's that British imperialism.
Yeah. And it looks like everyone from the stream is just coming to troll me and stand right.
They have found you. Yeah. They have found your location.
Oh, is this happening? I had to pause it because my computer was overheating. Since I'm recording and watching a stream at the same time, and my computer does that now.
I mean, I have to just massively disrespect Modramoth at all times anyway. I mean, I've crushed him so many times at StarCraft on stream. It's just... It has to happen.
You're too good.
I'm not
You're
that
too good at StarCraft.
I'm not that good.
Oh, someone's linking the news from the mysterious Eve. We
Ooh.
already talked about that.
Did we?
Is it the same news? Let's see.
I think so.
Yeah, it is the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the thieves will get staff and raid content. Yeah, we just talked about this a few minutes ago.
Man, that was a yawn. Jesus.
We know what yeah. Have we kind of talked about everything that's happened? We can just go on and have some random questions for kind of half an hour or something. 20 minutes.
I'm gonna be playing everything in the beta. I'm gonna actually set a schedule up so that I can kind of determine how much time to give to each class. Obviously I want to play Revenant. Revenant's a big draw for me, and even though I think Chronomancer is my least excited out of the elite specializations, I still want to give it its due amount of time to play and try out on the stream. So I'm going to be playing all of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I may not test them in World vs. World just because I don't know how much time I'm going to have to actually get into World vs. World and find competent battles and stuff, but everything else is pretty easy to set up and just go along with.
Yeah. I'm going to probably try and play everything, but I'll be playing Tempest the most because it's amazing. Mass Aura's OP. I'm trying to sit down and, well, I'm really lazy, but eventually I'll figure out if there's any way you could have permanent magnetic aura up and just constantly reflect everything. On everyone around you as well, because you can share it out. It'll be amazing.
That would be interesting.
You've got a good amount of sources of it now, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably will have thought of this and it's not possible, but maybe it's been overlooked. There's been some pretty broken stuff in the game before.
Grenadier and
Exactly.
Symbolic Adventure.
Exactly.
Everybody is crowding the camera.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome actually. Now I might just have that as the thumbnail. Pretty amazing. And I'll put our faces on the guys. That'll be pretty good. Actually.
This Necro Norn here looks like what was his name from House of a Thousand Corpses? The clown that sells chicken.
What?
What was his name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. He was the clown at the gas station. He sold chicken and gas.
House of... I don't know what that
House
is.
of the Rob Zombie flick.
I haven't seen
haven't
much
seen
Rob
it?
Zombie flicks.
Oh, it's actually kind of funny. You should for a horror movie. It's pretty funny. There's an old man who's in like half washed off clown makeup who sells chicken at a gas station. And this Norn here looks exactly like him.
Wow.
Very similar. He reminds me of him.
Well, speaking of stuff like that, I think we know what Brazil's playing. He wants to play it so much that he actually spent money in order to do so. It is the Reaper.
Yes.
Are you going to play anything except Reaper? Or
Probably not. I might play Revenant a little bit just to see what Shiro does, but I can't imagine I'll do that for any longer than about an hour.
are you going to try?
Probably going to be... What's up?
Are you going to try and get kind of current builds out for what you would do?
Yes. I'm probably going to... I'll do something like that. I have an idea as to what
Yeah.
I'll do. So I'll probably do like a Reaper
Subscribe to
theory
Brazil.
crafting. Yeah.
For this new video coming
I'll
up.
call it Theory Crafting Reaper, how to be useless in PvE.
Oh, that is how to get views, my friend. That is such a good title.
It's almost like I've been
Oh
doing this
my
for a
God.
while or something.
There, I linked Captain Spaulding here in chat.
Oh, let's take a look.
Dribix, thanks for the...
Take a look at
Is
It
that
doesn't really look
not
pretty
that Norn?
similar. Yeah,
Right?
it's pretty similar actually.
Pretty good.
That's that Norn right there. There's Captain Spaulding. That should be his name. Is that his name in game? If that's not your name in game, I'm going to be extremely
hang on.
disappointed in you.
I'll have a look. No, it is not. It is.
I will.
Oh, people
I
have
will
been
bet you that.
spamming me mail as well. Apparently, it's Mr. Freeze. Why would
Well,
you? Why are you called
You
that?
should buy a name change contract and call yourself Captain Spaulding, which I'm sure is taken.
Oh God, what the hell is this? People
Dr.
say
Fibes was taken.
I've been sent 69 chocolate bananas and 7 tiny snowflakes, but they probably sent me more shit as well.
You know what to do with those?
I think they're implying that that's already happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
Probably.
no, I don't think they didn't send me anything else. Good. Okay, resume normality. Clowns, very scary, especially when in horror scenarios. I think we can all agree on that.
I need to make a Five Nights at Freddy Ranger. I can be the Freddy bear, and then I can have a bear pet. It's perfect.
I died a little inside when I started recording part of my pet video, and there's a use for bears, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it. It doesn't mean you should always have it on and run around and use it all of the time, but there is a use for them, sadly. As much as I would like to see them deleted from the game. And no, it's not taunt.
But
Is it my trend?
It's my trend.
It's
Yeah.
my trend.
But bears are amazing. Have you not seen how derpy they are and funny they are? They're awesome.
Imagine if they got bear form.
Just actually
Like
just bear form.
if you
can
could
turn
like
into a bear.
the druid mechanic is you can overcharge your pet. And it goes it just goes forward.
No, they have to do it Guild Wars 1 style. It uses brutal mauling, which just lowers its damage output.
Oh, that's Levy's character. That's Levy's Norn.
Modromoth finds Rangers unbearable. Ooh, what a pun. Yeah,
Freaking bears.
and Old Tom. What? Some guy just said and Old Tom.
Uncle Tom.
I don't know where. It's useful
Uncle
for
Tom.
and Old... Oh yeah, useful for and
Yeah.
for Old Tom. Yeah. Okay, no. That was
can,
just out of context. Very confusing.
You can maintain Uncle Tom with Necromancer 2 with wells, vampiric wells, and plague form. It's beautiful.
It's
I love
something.
Necromancer.
Norn Druid
talk
with
about
the
it on-
shapeshifters would be funny. That Druid is for fight. Yeah. I agree. Yes. Is there anything else to cover? I mean,
I don't
No,
think so.
we've kind of
That was pretty much it. There was... do your... get your mini pet dragon we can see in the background
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Double authenticate yourself. 2-step authentication.
I haven't actually
Make it
done that.
happen. Get your mini pet.
Yeah, you should
You haven't
do that.
done that.
No, I haven't done that.
I'm
really
worried
should.
about it because I know eventually like my phone's gonna break or something, and like the authentication is gone. Now I'm gonna have to convince support that I'm actually me or something, so they can like take it off my account. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to see what this GIF is gonna be. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought, but the context is still the same.
It's the bear doing the wolf.
Oh, that is funny. Apparently it's the latest fan fiction. But yes, guys, you're in chat. Ask us questions. They don't have to be about anything, to be honest. They don't have to be about Guild Wars, but it's kind of a bonus if they are. They can be troll questions, and we'll give you troll answers.
Yeah, you can ask
go,
how
go,
many
go.
minifigures does Brazil have on the shelf next to his computer screen?
You could ask that. And
Yeah.
Gameltier wants to know what would be your perfect well rune for Mesmers and Necros and Norns. Mesmers and Norns. Mesmers and Necros.
Perfect well rune?
Yeah, because Mesmers are getting wells and Necros have wells.
Can you do, like, runes that increase the duration of skills?
There's the aura one that means auras last longer. So maybe 1 second extra on wells or an extra tick on wells.
Yeah, an extra tick would be strong.
Yeah, that's what I'm
2
concerned
ticks,
about now. Yeah.
I would do, like, probably power and ferocity for stats. And then, well, I don't really remember much about Chronomancer Wells, but I guess just thinking from terms of Necromancer, like power, ferocity, and you also have bonuses like Wells are like 100 range bigger, or Wells do like 1 extra tick, like have that stuff. And then the final bonus could be like reduce recharge on wells by like 5%. Something small but nice to have for a rune set. Or
Somebody
like
said
10%
cure
damage,
condition on tick.
20% damage to enemies standing inside a well.
I know.
Perfect.
I don't think the curing conditions would be good because some of them already do that.
Mm.
Well, power does.
Valak, we're at the end. We're taking some questions right now.
Yeah, there you go. Someone did uptime. 1 hour and 19 minutes.
Somebody did uptime.
Percent damage to enemies in wells would be amazing. That would be like, holy fuck. That would be so good.
It would be a very good reason to have a necromancer in your group, or
It literally
or a
would.
chronomancer.
Yeah.
I think that is a really good way that they could go about this, kind of using the edges of stuff instead of changing things directly. You can change this little thing, add a new rune, or you change the way how sigils work, and you can change the meta. The meta will change at an alarming rate. I'd love to see more stuff in this direction. Loads more rune sets, stuff like that.
Yeah. Janez, we know for sure we'll get some new runes and sigils in Heart of Thorns. We don't know how many, but wells count as fire fields for the number 6. That would be funny.
I don't know that I'd do that. Like, maybe. Wells are blast finishers.
What every single tick is just that would be good.
Area blindness, area blindness, area... Oh my god, that'd be fucking strong. Holy shit.
Allies standing in wells do 10% more damage. That could be good.
Yeah, well...
No?
Yeah, the only well... That's kind of a consequence that happens, how things are now. But the only well that you really have any reason to stand in is Well of Blood. The other ones, there's not really an incentive to be there. But putting it on an enemy and making the enemy take more damage, if it's in the well, that gives you incentive to chill it inside of the well so it stays in, to immobilize it or CC it and knock it down in the well. And then also not just explode with wells all at the same time, unless the bonus stacks. So it's like 20% or 10%. If you do it stacking, you could do like 8% damage per well. And then if you have 3 wells on, well, that's whatever, 8 is multiplicatively 3 times. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yep.
What, 1.08 times 3, I guess, so something.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be kind of strong. And that would give you incredible burst at the start. Like if you just throw down the wells and then go into Reaper and spin around, fuck. And
wells produce oil and add 100 gold to your account per tick.
Yeah.
But then the runes would be really expensive though. You'd have to wait for
and then increase by 50% in Crystal Desert or Dry Top.
That would be, I would be like...
Super rich.
I'd be really happy if that happened. If there were wells like that.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
Let's see.
You could call it the superior rune of Jed Clampett.
Let's see if we. Oh, good. Oh wait, I have a good well runes. Okay.
Superior rune of the Goon. Scorpion Wire and Spectral Grasp have their distance increased by 500.
Each well gives you mathematical equations to solve. Grants 15 stacks of confusion per tick. Ooh,
all foes standing in your wells have 10% less stats.
that is very
That'd be
interesting.
good.
And 6, people didn't get
All allies standing in your wells gain 10% stats. Yeah, that could be a good one.
Wells gather 1 material from a node per tick.
That's what's actually going to happen.
Yeah, if there were well runes, like Necromancer would immediately be like so much stronger. Like it still wouldn't be meta. Maybe not. But it'd be way stronger. It'd be the ultimate savior of pugs. Like I would never, well, I don't really play any other class anyways now. I've been playing Guardian a bit more, but yeah, I spent like 800 gold gearing my Guardian yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Buying
How? On
chaos
what?
skins.
Okay. Well,
I
now
have
that
like
makes sense.
9 chaos skins on it.
Now that makes perfect sense. With 9 chaos skins, Jesus,
Yep.
you give me a headache. I think I have like 14 gold. Whoa, it's tea time.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa, bro! You,
Wow.
No, you do 20% more damage to enemies standing in your worlds. Symbolic Avenger.
20
But for wellness.
Symbolic Avenger is 10%. 10%.
Never mind.
We
But
have some
same
really
thing.
creative viewers who have set their characters up on our screen, on
Yeah, this
TeaTime
is
screen.
amazing. This is so good. These are all awesome. I want this to happen every time. But I don't have anything to put on the screen anyway. Look at this lovely script with the cat. Beautiful. We've got Deathwing over there. Groot is gone. Groot died.
Good.
Groot died.
Yeah. Someone put Weed Killer on him. Standing still for too long grants you 69 chocolate bananas.
I really like Vin Diesel, but saying that line "I am Groot" over and over again must have been really difficult acting. Must have been tough for him.
You gotta get the enunciation right though, you know?
Yeah, well.
You gotta speak
Lots of
more
practice.
words with those words. You gotta convey a lot
Jar
of
Jar
emotion.
Binks. That's right, Jar Jar Binks.
This is like really off topic, but this is the funniest thing I've seen today yet. Corsair just tweeted on Twitter, like someone posted a picture of a Razer keyboard and they scratched off the Razer logo and drew a Corsair logo on it. And Corsair tweeted it and said, "You can tell this is a counterfeit because it doesn't use real Cherry MX switches." That's fucking brutal. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, jeez. That's some tweet game right there.
Has anyone got any more questions, guys?
Do you have someone asked me something about?
Yeah, the question bot is there, but people aren't using the thingy.
Superior rune of the bear bow. Yeah, let's make
What
bears
did they
better.
ask you?
Yeah.
Make me
Why do you
rage.
think why do you think the release date will be announced at Gamescom?
They're getting a lot slower with news, and they are making the news that they release like big. So I think it's coming. It may not be at Gamescom. I don't know. I just think that would be. They've done a lot of stuff at Gamescom. Game seems to be their like big venue. They only started breaking into PAX and stuff this year, I think. So I think they might want to do something special for Gamescom, since Gamescom has always been a thing that they've done. From
Except
what I
Prime,
understand.
which is like in their own backyard. But,
Yeah.
there'll be an announcement. I'm sure there's probably going to be an announcement at Prime as well. So one of the two venues, and they're both within the same month. So
I wouldn't be surprised if PAX Prime was challenging group content, because they could go there and say like, introducing the raids in Guild Wars 2, and like have all this huge shit, like people come down in like warrior cosplay down the aisles in the theater, and then there's a necromancer that comes on stage to scythe Colin Johansson, and the warrior goes up and slays it, and he takes off his helmet, and there's just something that says like, it's got like a stack of might on his head. So,
Might mask.
yeah. I don't know.
We have a serious question. Assuming raids are added, at what rate do you think is ideal for them to release? Oh, this person with the flamethrower is being incredibly obnoxious. Who is this guy? Oh wow! Oh wow! That's actually a really good. It's a good Big Lebowski. I like that. That's good. But still, stop that. Look, this guy is trolling me hard. Yes, right. I will restart. I'll just run around for the rest of the stream. Assuming raids are added, at what rate do you think is ideal for them to be added to the game? And 2, the idea of a looking for raid system. I think that's quite a redundant second piece of the section, because there is already a looking for group system in the game.
If there is an LFR, they'll just put it into the LFG, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a separate system for it.
As far as raids being added, I don't want to see them happen too quickly, surprisingly, because I want them to be complex with a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff to figure out. I don't want them to be solved within like the first week of Heart of Thorns. Like if we get one raid to start off,
Yeah.
then I'd like it to take like a week or so for people to figure it out and do it. And I think that would be maybe that. But like, I don't know. If you can figure it out in a week, it won't be very efficient. It'll be like having a float team at the Triple Trouble Worm. Sorry for the shots being fired at attuned, but that was a stupid strategy. um,
It wasn't all attuned, to be fair.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know who came up with the float strategy to begin with.
I don't know.
I don't know who came up with that, but we did try and do that float team for like forever,
Yeah.
and it didn't ever work.
I know how to play me class. There was that guy. I remember him. I'll never forget that man. But
Was that the smoking guy?
I don't remember. There was some guy. I guess it's kind of mean to talk bad about him, but it was entertaining. He made me chuckle. But yeah, raid content ideally would be difficult to solve. It would take a significant amount of effort, and they would release a new one probably through the living story in some degree or something. And then you do that for a few weeks, maybe months, and then there's a new one. Like every 4 months a raid, or every 6 months a raid. That seems like that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been doing dungeons for 3 years and people still do them every day. So a raid that's complex and has a lot of cool stuff in it, a new one every 6 months doesn't seem too out of reach for Guild Wars 2, I think. I may be being too generous. There may be other people who completely disagree with that and they want a new raid every other weekend, but whatever. That won't happen.
No, I agree. I think with every big chunk of story they release, they could release a raid to have the conclusion
Yeah.
of that. And tying into that, the guy, Fluffy Jesus, he clarified that would you guys like to see a tiered difficulty system so that the really hardcore people can have their super challenge, wah, and the people who just want to experience the story can have with lesser rewards, obviously, and all that comes with it, an easier difficulty so they can just see what happens in the epic conclusion of each season. I think I would like to see that personally. I think it should be accessible for everyone, as much as is possible, at least.
I would like to see a tiered difficulty system integrated directly into the raid. Like maybe the first boss drops a cool reward or a good chance at a cool reward. And it's challenging, but you can pug it. And then as the raid goes further, there's no chance of not finishing it without coordination. So people, if they want, they can just go in and kill the first shit, but then they fail and get a daily reward or something from that. And maybe that's a bad idea. That's probably something that seems cool to me on paper, but in actuality, people would just be enraged by it. So I think the more practical thing to do would be to make tiered difficulties. Or if you do it through the living story, each release of the living story every 2 weeks or whatever it is, they release a little instance or something. And then at the final release, you get a raid that's a recap of stuff that went on maybe, but it's way harder.
Right.
Something like that. And you could have challenge achievements for it at the same time.
Rift had a system where they would release the raid and let it go for a while, and a number of people would beat it, and then they had this, I forget what it was called exactly, but they had this instance content where it was basically a mini, almost soloable raid. And I'm not saying that Guild Wars 2 should have soloable raid content. I think that's silly. But it was basically super easy to do. still let you semi-experience the boss on a super easy toned-down level and let you see like whatever was happening in the raid. It gave you a taste of the raids, and it was supposed to entice you to actually go and do it for real. I think a system like that could work. You know, I think that they could release a raid and let it be out there for a little while, let the hardcore content people or whatever, or the coordinated people get the raid done and see that. And then maybe after a month or a given amount of time, they could release even like an easy mode or something like that so that other people could experience that content, at least see the cinematic or the ending or whatever happens to go with that. Of course, the rewards are extremely stunted, and I think that if you're going to talk about rewards for a raid, it needs to be special weapons, special armor, special skins, whatever the case is. It needs to be specific to that you can only get in that content. And if there's going to be an easy mode, those rewards should not really be available to those people. And I realize that sounds elitist. I realize that sounds harsh. But I think there needs to be some segmented content for those who really like the hardcore stuff. There is an argument to be made where, yes, you can make it hardcore, and there could be a tier scaling for that, but we haven't really seen evidence of that yet. Hopefully ArenaNet can bring something like that around, but there needs to be rewards for top tier players, and there does need to be some rewards for more casual oriented players as well. But I think that you really need to reward these special events. That's what entices people to do them. Without that, they're going to beat it one time, and then why should I repeat it? Why should I go through that again? Because there needs to be a real reward to entice people.
Yeah, I agree.
I completely agree with that statement. On every level, we are of one mind. I think we've got another one. Do you think that ArenaNet... this is kind of... I think this is... I'm not even sure if this is trolling or not, because of something that we've discussed previously on a stream before. Do you think that ArenaNet will put an instability that kills the whole team if someone dies? No.
I don't think so.
Oh, this...
I think it's... I don't think that's ArenaNet style.
Not anymore.
Right. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
That's just something that I think would infuriate people.
Right. Yeah.
And like Guild
Especially
Wars,
for pugs, it makes it almost unpuggable.
Yeah, it does. In groups, like if you're playing with a closed guild or like a group of people who are all good players, and then something goes wrong and you start to get really, really mad at them and rage at them, I don't know, that it turns into an ego competition. And
it's certainly not something ArenaNet wants to promote. They don't want to give people a reason to scream and yell at each other in the content. They want the game to be fun. There's ways to make things difficult and fun without making each other hate one another by the time that the raid is over or by the time that the content is over.
yeah,
Something like one person dies and you all die is overly punishing.
It's not going to go well.
It creates an environment where you never want to teach new players how to do something.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy to a degree teaching people how to do content, but if I was trying to teach someone, like, if I was trying to teach a group of 4 people how to do Moss Man at level 50 that have never done Moss Man at level 50 before, and, like, I was trying to teach a Guardian how to Guardian there, and, like, as soon as he died, everyone died, like, I would never put myself in that situation. I would never... I would lose my sanity if I did. And maybe that says that I'm, like, superficial to a degree or something, but I don't know. That's not a fun situation to be in.
No.
And you can learn just as well by, like, not dying or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, I lost the question.
People would never kill Lubicus and Pugs outside of putting him in the wall and guardianing him.
Should we, well... We speculate about the warrior specialization. Someone was asking what we think it is.
Well, Berserker.
Yeah.
That might be a name placeholder maybe, but I don't know. It looks from, if you want to speculate from the art, it looks like the warrior is taking a lot of damage. So I'm thinking like a melee brawler like Jalis. Tanky probably has a taunt, since that seems to be like a more popular thing now. Probably has lots of stability, or what is it? There's an ignore pain one. There's already a
Endure
shout,
pain and
endure
defiance
pain.
stance.
So yeah, there's probably going to be like maybe he'll get a break bar as well, just like the Elementalist Earth thing or the Tempest Earth thing. Probably, like I said, taunt seems very probable. Something to make him tough and durable, I think.
I
Not
could
that
see
warriors already can't be that, but I mean,
I could see it getting something like corruptions, where it hurts itself to do stuff to other people.
Mhm.
That's how I fight when I fight. Me getting hurt equals me angry. So like,
Hulk.
I don't
Hulk
know.
smash.
He hulks out.
it's very. This is just this is some fighting advice. If you get into a fight with someone and you start punching yourself in the face and like biting pieces out of your arm, they're gonna run away, and if they don't, you're gonna beat them. So
Now we know why Brazil you use push to talk when we're playing PvP. It's because you're just going crazy, just yelling at the screen when you're not...
sometimes I do that. I can't do PvP for long periods of time because I get very mad. I was good at wrestling in high school though.
There you
So-
go.
Okay. Here's a good question. Will raids bring more grills into the game? Otherwise, what's the point? Doesn't everyone want a grill party?
I don't know. If there's a healer role, traditionally I think a lot of female players like to play healer roles, which I'm not trying to stereotype or be like a gender elitist or anything. Please don't kill me if you have a Tumblr. But I don't know, maybe superficially.
Sexist shitlord.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
The
I'd actually
Guild
have
Wars
to-
2
I'd
community
actually
is
have to
infested
count,
with
but-
misogyny.
I might know an equal amount of female and male players. in
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2, actually.
Yeah.
There's like an equal, I mean, a fairly equal, almost not, not one, but pretty close, actually.
Chat has taken what I've said too far.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. This is my experience. I haven't really played MMOs with rating, but I've talked to people who have, that were in ye old D&T and played WoW long ago, and from the knowledge they've passed on to me, a lot of the girls that played in raids with them liked to play healers. I don't know if that's coincidence or if that's like some kind of trend that you can track with statistics. And maybe I'm just digging myself into a hole here.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't
You
care.
would better hope that no one ever sees this who is that way inclined, because you're gonna not even remember what it's like to be taken in context.
Well, I mean, regardless, like I have well, I'll just stop. I was just gonna say I have this level of just not caring about that kind of stuff. I want to be a nice guy,
Boot Spur.
but why is he here?
I thought you were in, actually, where is he now? He's not in Greece anymore. He's in the mountains somewhere. You're always in the mountains, Boots. What is with the mountains? You're drawn to them.
York. Is that York like England York, or is that York like New York, the real New York?
I
The
think
good
it's
one.
England, York.
England sucks.
Have you ever been to England?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Have you
I
actually?
watched Sherlock Holmes with my Oculus Rift.
Okay.
It's just like being to England. I watched Peaky Blinders, so clearly I've been as well.
Yeah. I have a Sherlock Holmes t-shirt, and I have some really fun stories about that. Maybe I could tell them
Oh.
if people are interested.
We have got a good authority on this in the chat. Vedith is here.
Oh.
You're a fucking anti-feminist, Brazil.
No, I'm just anti-clerics guardians, so...
Wait, that means you're anti-card, though. I know for a fact that you like Card.
Yes, Card, everything he does is a parody of someone else. So...
Oh,
Really?
It sounds like Bootspur's on his way home. He's in Boston on a layover.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's a shame Boots isn't coming to Gamescom, because he was in
He's
Europe,
just-
so...
He's probably role-playing with Deanie Kong right now, if he's in Boston.
That's his brother. That's his cousin.
Are they actually related?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
They absolutely look like they could be related.
Yeah, they do.
They
That's why I
definitely
was like, that's like people saying you and I are related, Inks.
There we go.
Like,
Yep.
Inks and I are related, and so are Boots
So are
and Deanie Kong.
Bootspur and Deanie Kong. That's right. I forget who confused the two of them.
Oh no, everyone says
Was it
England sucks.
Jebro maybe? Somebody confused the two of them. It was absolutely hilarious.
No. Oh yeah. Now I know. You
Somebody
hate
called
me all
Boots for
this time.
Deanie Kong, I think, when we were at PAX Boston. They confused the two of them. Yeah, Boots can tell the story. I don't remember it exactly, but yeah, somebody confused the two of them.
Yeah. That is pretty funny. I think that about wraps it up, guys.
Does it?
Does it? Or do you want to ask some more?
I was gonna tell stories about something, but I
Oh
forgot
yeah,
what-
go for it. Tell
was
your
it?
story. Was it the story you were refusing to tell at the start?
No, it was Sherlock Holmes t-shirt.
Oh yeah. Go.
So I have a shirt that says 2212221B 22 whatever it is, B Baker Street. There's twos and there's a one. There's 1 and there's some twos. Anyways, I have a shirt that says that. I got it like last year sometime. Because I guess the Sherlock TV show that's on PBS with Benedict Cucumberhead that everyone seems to like. I bought that shirt and like I like the books by like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and stuff. Like I read through those in high school and they were awesome. And then I watched the TV show and it was cool. And like I was at the bank one day depositing my YouTube gold and the lady working at the bank was like, "What does that shirt mean?" And I was like, that's where Sherlock Holmes lives. And she said, well, hopefully he still doesn't live there. And she kind of laughed. I was like, what? And she was like, well, he lived a long time ago, right? And I was like,
okay.
no, Sherlock Holmes was not a real person. And so that was funny. And then I was at Chipotle ordering Chipotle, and a girl came up and approached me, and she said, oh, is that a Sherlock shirt? And I said, yeah, it is. And she said, I really love that show. It's just like the original books were. And I was like, no, what? Anyways, Twitch chat fucking exploded while I was telling those.
Yes.
Being told
Oh.
being
Excellent.
told that the show was just like the books, that hurt a little bit.
Guild Wars 2 is very good value.
Yeah,
You
it
will
sucks. Don't play it.
You will without question get value for your money. XX, Alexa, XX, and, well, right. Be sure to use one of the many YouTube content creators' sellout links when purchasing a copy of Guild Wars 2.
That's right. Make sure you make that happen, because
You can use Brazil's... Wait, no, you can't. Brazil doesn't have one.
wow, wow.
Get wrecked, kid. But no, myself and Inks do, and many other people who make excellent content on the internet. When
Heart of
will...
Thorns will not be released November 10th because I'm busy. So any day but that.
Man, King Kappa Prime, Brazil could have got the pussy 2 times and he didn't want it. You should hear some of my stories where I have just flat out rejected people. Like, I'm not saying I'm, like, particularly attractive or anything, but I have had some pretty hilarious shit that I've done just because I don't like interacting with people outside of games. But those can be for another day. I had to derail on that because it was funny to me.
Okay.
Tune in next week to hear more
To hear,
adventures from
these
Brazil.
funny stories. I like BInks. Oh wait, I think this patriarchal show needs some female representation. Well, look, you may not believe. Yeah, I actually attempted to do that, but didn't work out, unfortunately. But we'll see. In the
Yeah,
future.
we tried to get some female representation.
But who knows what the future
Next
holds.
time.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Sometime.
Come back with the social justice warriors next time for 50-50 representation. Brazil, sorry you're off. Too offensive. We're gonna. You're banned forever. Just get out. Lots of arrows pointing to Vedith.
Vedith is a female.
I know.
She also
There you
lives in England.
Perfect.
That English
combination.
accent.
She has an English accent too.
No,
There you go.
we're not gonna have grills.
Instant.
She also studies math and physics.
Oh my god.
MightyTeapot.
10 million views for the English accent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My
It actually
teapot
does
has a
work like that
friend.
in some respect. I have a friend. Do
Vedith can be your friend. You can talk about
England
wind
things.
speeds and Tyria
Yeah.
together.
I? Yeah. Let's see. Oh wow, King Kappa Prime, top troll. Nice one, bro. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Someone help me, save me, please.
I don't know. Were we gonna outroduce ourselves instead of introduce?
I like that expression. I'm taking that.
Outroduce.
Outroduce yourself.
Me?
Yeah,
Me
go
first?
for it. Go
Okay.
for it, Brazil.
So, I am Brazil. You can find me by Googling Brazil GW2. You can find me on Twitter at Brazil GW2. It is not Brazil DNT anymore because I'm not in DNT anymore. The news has broken. Yeah, I changed my Twitter. It's still the same thing. If you were following me before, it'll be there. My YouTube, just Google Brazil GW2 and you'll find it. Or search Brazil GW2 on YouTube and I'll be there. So
Is there
play
any?
that
Yeah.
guitar.
Is there any chance you could just do that? This guy's going crazy.
About playing my guitar?
Yeah. You can
Not
play us
that
out.
one.
You can play us out.
Well, there's some problems because the Stratocaster, right there, the hardware is broken on it. It doesn't have an input jack, and the other guitar does not have pickups and strings, and my acoustic guitar is somewhere else in my house because I've been giving lessons and it's not in my room. So, no guitar today, maybe next week.
There you go. He said next week. You guys have it here
Woo.
on
It's recorded.
stream.
It's gonna
It's
happen.
recorded.
Oh boy. It looks like you're gonna have to make a video about this one, Brazil.
About what? About not being in D&T
Why,
Suddenly we
why
have
you're
a
now
lot
a
of-
casual.
Yeah, why you're casual. You have to explain why you're
Oh.
casual now.
I'll probably do that
Yes.
since the news is out.
Inks, who are you?
So now it's Matt casual and Brazil casual. That's right.
Hey.
Casual army is formed. Inks, yeah. So you can find me YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. It's MMO Inks everywhere. Very easy.
Oh, I should have changed to MMO Brazil.
On Twitter, yeah. Oh, that was so good.
Oh my god.
Oh, missed opportunities, boys. Yes, everyone, be sure to follow and subscribe to both Inks and Brazil. You're already on my stream, so I would appreciate it if you followed it. We do this sort of thing all the time. And I also have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that. There is a button below this stream, and also one to the Twitter where things get announced well in advance. So you can prepare yourself to be a dedicated view bot. There may be a slight problem with tea time next week because I am not in England. I am at Gamescom, but I may force one of these lovely people here to stream it for me on their channel, and we will continue as normal from there. Hopefully, Inks. I mean, you can do that, right? Eventually, if you want to do that, or I don't know.
Just give us your stream key and we'll do it on your channel.
Works.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. Well, I'll get you guys notified as quickly as possible. But that is all for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all in the future. Ha ha!